Welcome to the Explainer. Today, we are going to take a deep dive right into your drinking glass to see how the choices we make every single day can be a really powerful tool for our long-term health.
So I want you to think about this for a second, especially as we get older, right? The stuff we sip on can have this huge impact on, well, everything. We're talking about managing blood sugar, blood pressure, even protecting our heart and kidneys. It's this simple part of our daily routine that actually holds a ton of surprising power. Okay, let's get into it.
First things first, let's really get a handle on why this is so critical. And it all starts with the absolute foundation of our health, and that's hydration.
The CDC is super clear on this. Not getting enough water leads to dehydration. Now, what's really fascinating here is when you look at these symptoms, foggy thinking, feeling moody, constipation, these are things we might just blame on getting older. But what if, just what if, the answer is as simple as reaching for a glass of water a little more often?
So, with that in mind, what should we be drinking? Let's take a look at the good guys, the beverages that are actually working for our health, not against it.
I mean, this is no surprise, right? Water is the undisputed champion. It's got 0 calories, 0 sugar, and it's not going to raise your blood sugar one bit. Plus, it's absolutely essential for keeping your body temperature where it needs to be, making sure your joints are lubricated, and helping your kidneys do their job of flushing out waste. But wait, water isn't our only hero here. Unsweetened tea and coffee are fantastic choices too. They're just loaded with antioxidants and these other things called bioactive compounds, which are basically these natural plant chemicals that can help protect our health. And honestly, the benefits can be pretty darn significant. Get this, a major analysis of a whole bunch of studies found something incredible. For people with diabetes, the group that drank the most coffee had an 18% lower risk of death from any cause compared to those who drank the least. I mean, that's a pretty powerful endorsement for your morning cup, just as long as you're skipping the sugar.
All right, so let's flip the coin. Now we're going to talk about the drinks that can quietly and kind of sneakily undermine all your best health efforts.
Okay, the main culprits are regular sodas, those sugary fruit punches, and energy drinks. And this just lays out the problem perfectly. An average 12-ounce can of soda, it's packing about 150 calories and a whopping 40 grams of sugar, with absolutely 0 nutritional value. For anyone who's keeping an eye on their blood sugar, these drinks are, without a doubt, best left on the shelf.
But not everything is so black and white. There are some really popular drinks that kind of fall into a gray area, where it's all about moderation and just being mindful.
Let's take 100% fruit juice. Yeah, it's got vitamins, but it's missing the fiber that you get from eating the actual whole fruit. And that fiber is so important because it slows down how quickly your body absorbs the sugar. So the key takeaway here is super simple. Eat your fruit, don't drink it. But hey, if you do have some juice, just try to keep it to a small 4-ounce glass and have it with a meal.
Low-fat milk is another one of those. It's a fantastic source of calcium and vitamin D for sure, but its natural sugar, lactose, still counts as a carbohydrate. And what about diet sodas? Well, they won't raise your blood sugar, but the science on the long-term effects of all those artificial sweeteners, let's just say the jury is still out on how they affect weight and our metabolic health down the road. And what about alcohol? The American Diabetes Association is really clear here. Number 1, talk to your doctor, because alcohol can mess with certain medications. And if you do choose to drink, never, ever do it on an empty stomach, and you've got to stick to the limits of moderation. That's 1 drink a day for women and up to 2 for men.
So, with all these different recommendations floating around, you might be asking yourself, how do we even measure the overall healthiness of our drinking habits? Well, it turns out researchers have actually come up with a tool to do just that. It's called the Healthy Beverage Index, or HBI for short. It's basically a scoring system that looks at your entire beverage pattern. It gives you positive points for things like water, tea, and low-fat milk, and then it takes points away for sugary drinks. The higher your score, the healthier your habits. Simple as that.
And this isn't just some abstract score either. A study that focused on people with type 2 diabetes found that a higher HbI was directly linked to way better health markers. We're talking lower cholesterol, lower blood pressure, and better blood sugar control after meals. It really goes to show that your overall pattern of what you drink truly matters. So, how do we take all this information and actually put it into practice? Well, it all boils down to one simple but really powerful idea: making a healthy swap.
I want you to think of it like a 2-for-1 deal for your health.
When you swap a soda for an unsweetened iced tea, like this study suggests, you're not just dodging all that harmful sugar, you're actively adding those good-for-you compounds we talked about, the ones that support your heart and your metabolism. And of course, the easiest swap of all is just choosing water. Here are some incredibly simple tips from the CDC to help make it your go-to choice. Carry a bottle with you, order it at restaurants, and serve it with your meals at home. It's such a small change, but it makes a massive difference.
At the end of the day, just by choosing your drinks with a little bit of intention, you are taking a simple yet incredibly powerful step towards managing your health and protecting your future. As we've seen, what's in your glass really does matter. Thanks for joining this explainer.